Alright guys, let's talk about putting a gate in on your property for your homestead. So here we've got two tube gates that are 12 feet wide. We went with a 20 to 24 foot spread on these posts because we want to make sure we can bring in any kind of equipment, whether it's horse trailers, camper trailers, cattle trailers, anything that we need to bring in. It's going to fit through these two gates. We plan to put in either a Mighty Mule system or a Go system and a pedestal. That way we can use both key fobs to open the gate, and we can use a code to open the gate if we have any friends, neighbors that want to come over, or if we use anybody to help watch and maintain the land, or contractors come by when nobody's home. We want to make sure that we have a secure property, so I always recommend throwing a gate up while you're waiting on your survey to complete. If anybody's done a land survey before, you know those guys are pretty busy. It takes quite a while, usually 3 to 4 months to get it from start to finish, right though, because they have to do research on the deed, research on the lay of the land, and then they have to come out, drop the pins, find the old pins, and update the paperwork. So I'm still waiting on my paperwork to come in. They've already come out physically and done the survey. Once that comes in, we'll be putting in the rest of the fence all the way around the property. Now we call this property Lick Log Acres because the creek that runs around it, marking the property line, is called Lick Log Creek. So we thought that'd be a good name to move forward with and build this property into something manageable. Our goal is to do homesteading videos, DIY videos, and build up as much of a community as we can, learn what we need to. I grew up on a farm in the summer with my uncle, so everything I know has been learned secondhand through him, and I've got a lot of stuff that I'm still picking up and learning through YouTube. So hopefully anybody that subscribes to the channel will give me some great advice, let me know anything I might be missing, and let's build this thing up. Now let's keep talking about the property a little bit. So we came from Alabama to Georgia. We went from a 3,000 square foot home with a saltwater pool, a detached garage and shop, to a 1,400 square foot home that's only got 2 bedrooms instead of the 4 that we're coming from. I have 2 young children. One is 2 years old, one is 1, so that's already a handful. So now if we look here, you can see the entryway of the home. It's got a nice little porch. It's a standard farm style house built in 1961, and it's just going to take a lot of getting used to try to squeeze everybody in here. Looking at from the back side, it comes with this old red barn. It's dilapidated. We're going to end up tearing that down, but for now we're using it for storage. There's no driveway to speak of, and when it rains it gets really muddy. So something else we're going to be doing on the channel is building a driveway. The backyard's fenced in, which is great for the dog. And the house also came with a brand new detached 2-car garage with a separate main power ran to it. So it's going to be great for the wood shop. So of course, what's a move without bringing my twin? He's same size as me, we're identical, so it helps him make life easy when we're moving, carrying. We're both pretty strong, so a lot of the stuff we can do pretty much on our own. A lot of our trade skills we learned over the years, through trial and error, through some commercial experience, and through working at the house and DIY projects. So this detached garage that you can see, it's got 2 roll-up doors, nothing automated, and I only had 1 outlet and 1 light installed in the building when we first came into it, with no insulation. So of course the first thing we're going to do after unpacking everything, getting some trailer space freed up, is run to Home Depot and pick up the materials we need to start getting this detached garage built out so that we have the ability to get to all the tools that we need to do the rest of the land, the rest of the property, and start building up. Here you can see we've started doing the electrical. We did all the work ourselves. We decided to go with the outlets high up on the wall because I'm going to have workbenches in most of the locations, and we're just pulling it back to the panel. As you can see, we are using different types of wire. We need a thicker gauge for the 220 amp circuits I'm running for my CNC machine. At the end of the day, I have 3 220 amp circuits on the wall. We'll show those in a later video, or show those in another clip after this one, but just showing that anybody can do a lot of this work. It's not complicated. Make sure you know where your wire is. Make sure you're going to protect your wire. So the height that I put it at and the wire that I ran through the wall, I made sure it was not going to interfere with any of the boards that I screw in later to have the workbenches. You want to make sure you don't nick any of those wires. Pull it back to the panel and set up your circuit breakers properly. So this is the shop now in its current state. We've got the miter saw station built. We have a table saw in. We've got a larger dust collector. And we've got the CNC machine set up. The bandsaw sitting off to the side. We've built a shelf to hold all the goods and open up as much floor space as possible. We've put in new lighting instead of just a single light. We've added outlets all along the wall. All the electrical is complete. And we've gone ahead and we've insulated the walls and put OSB across the top, just to make sure that we've got the integrity to keep everything going. The white pipes you see running everywhere is 4-inch PVC for the dust collection, and I'm not going to go too much more in depth on this. I just wanted you guys to see the not finished product, but where we are with the shop currently. And as we talked about, we've gone ahead and we've gotten the concrete pad poured. We've dug the dirt down and did a 6-inch pad around. There's a few spots that are thicker than 6 inches just because the ground was very uneven. And I told them they could go ahead and take some dirt from around the building. I was a little bit unhappy with the mess that they left. This is after they were done. So not thrilled with the piles of concrete everywhere. They had some out in other spots in my yard. They also broke my shovel. So, you know, just good times dealing with contractors and some of the work that they do. You can see the T-post there. That's where I plan to bring it 10 feet out from the building for a lean-to. I'm going to make an outdoor cooking spot. And you can see the septic clean out here in the video. I had to move that so it wouldn't be under the pad. So we just went ahead, dug it all up, shifted it over, and we'll make sure that we put a box around it so that when we do the next pad, the box will be in concrete, but everything will be protected so it can still get to be gotten to and worked on as needed. Now here you can see the forms are still on. They were going to come back a few days later and pull those off once it's had time to dry. My concern was, and I brought this up to the contractors, the temperature was going to get cold the next few days, down in the 30s, if not lower, and it was also going to rain. So they poured the concrete anyway, and with the rain and the cold, I'm hoping it doesn't flake later. So we'll have to just see, make sure I hang on to the contract and definitely call them back out to make those corrections. But it's a 20 by 23 pad, doubling the size of the shop, giving me a spot, hopefully, to work on my F-250 whenever it needs a change, because nobody ever carries the oil for it that I want to put in it. So one of the final large things we've done on the property so far in the 3 to 4 months that we've been here is we got 4 of the large sweet gum and oak trees taken down on the back side of the shop. The ground was eroding away and it was already pretty soft. I didn't want anything falling on the shop, and these trees were kind of overtaken by diseases. So I had the tree company come out and look, and they say they also recommended to take them down. So we took them down. I do plan to hopefully mill the trees and save the wood to use for our mantles and furniture, even though it'll need some time to dry out. But on the back side, in those open spaces, I plan to build a 22-foot lean-to with a gravel base so I can park my trailers and any other tractors or equipment that I hopefully can get within a certain amount of time as we try to grow and get ready to move to a bigger piece of land in the future. And as we stated, guys, this is going to be a homesteading channel, so in the future we are going to be talking about chicken houses, chicken coops, rabbits. I plan to make a worm bin. We have a well house on the property that is the only water we have available. I had to fix that in the winter when it froze over, so I will go over that too in the future, and any types of backups I plan to make for water, because we are not necessarily trying to go off a grid, but if something were to happen to the grid, we want to be ready for it, and we want to have a self-sustaining lifestyle where we know exactly where our food is coming from, just because we seem to be going through more and more turbulent times, even inside of this, what should be very stable country. If there are any questions, any recommendations, I am always open. If you could, please leave a like, subscribe, comment on anything that I can do better or improve upon. I also have a woodworking channel if you guys want to check that out, where we use the CNC machine, and I'll be doing a lot more projects on that in the future. So, just to wrap up, I also bought a golf cart. I spent a couple grand on that, and then I spent another, I don't know, 2 grand on a updated motor lift kit and need to replace the batteries. And we can do some videos on that too if you guys want. Very nice to have for the land. Learned that from my uncle. Always have a way to get around that's not walking, where you can carry your tools with you. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next time.